Okay, welcome to the internet, live from the Daniel S. Tuttle Library at the University of Utah.
We wish.
Though interestingly, there is a building on campus named after a former bishop, but we don't talk about her. So,
Oh,
I'm your host, Sophia Charlotte Dunstan, and these are my co-hosts.
Kyle, Raleigh, Holland, and
Who?
we're cities in North Carolina.
Ooh, that's pretty clever. Okay, let me rerun that so I don't ruin it.
That's part of the fun of listening
Welcome
to
to
the
the
podcast.
internet, live from the Daniel Sylvester Tuttle Library at the University of Utah. This is the Red Line Podcast. I'm your host, Sophia, quote, Charlotte, unquote, St. Mark, and these are my co-hosts.
Kyle, quote, Raleigh, unquote, Holland, and...
Durham.
okay. Alex, quote, Durham, close quote, Fielder. Today on the show, we're beginning a 5-part series on Canada's largest city with a discussion of the Union-Pearson Express. Just why did it take Toronto so long to get a rail link with its airport? And what can the UP Express teach us about airport transit? All this after the news.
Mom, can we have UP Express? We have UP Express at home.
UP Express at home, the Green Line.
No, Union Pacific.
Oh, that's also bad, yeah. Well, the Green Line's fine. The Green Line is not bad. I don't know why I suggested that it's bad.
It's good when it's not having a bus bridge from River Trail to
That's
Ballpark.
True. That's true. Which brings us neatly into the topic we will be discussing today on the news.
Do.
That was a good segue, Kyle. Congratulations. I'm just looking at Wakefield, 241st Street subway station in New York, and I'm very interested in the fact that there's a Little Caesars next to it.
That seems irrelevant to the news, but good for you.
That's news to me.
I wonder how much Little Caesars in
Okay.
New York is.
Probably the same.
Oh, really?
I think so. It says there's a little thing here that says like $5 on the front of the store. So $5 hot pizza is here in New York City.
New York pizza competition is fierce.
That's true.
Guess so.
And pizza is so cheap to make. It's just like flour and tomatoes, which are like the two most common culinary products in the world. Am I wrong?
And cheese.
Okay, which is a super uncommon culinary product.
Yeah, but which, unlike flour and tomatoes, costs money.
Not if you're a corporation, and not if you buy like cheese that's only sort of cheese.
And you put
Now we're
sawdust in it.
talking. 51%
Sure. It's
cheese.
it's like that one meme of the kid standing in front of his like presentation that's like, how much sawdust can you put in Rice Krispie treats before someone notices? And I really wish that I was that creative when I had to do science fair projects.
That kid's going to go big when they grow up.
I agree.
Presumably they already have.
We need more like mental torment science fair projects.
Yeah, just ditch your baking soda volcano and make like, the Stanford Prison Experiment Part 2.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, I like your text on the news.
Yeah, UTA's nightmare summer construction blunt rotation.
Every summer we break out the
Okay, but
cheapest.
this summer is somehow worse than ever.
Hey, at least they're not rebuilding part of the line to the university again, which happens
But
like
they're
every
going
other
to be
summer.
doing that again next year because they knock out the entire thing for a month and then redo like one block.
Right?
Could you not redo the whole thing at once? It's all been there for the same amount of time, and so presumably it's all
all worn
approaching
out.
the end of its service life.
No, the one consistent thing about UTA work is that the closure will be unnecessarily long. There will be one team
and
maximum,
there will be no one doing anything for most of the time that it's closed.
right? And when there are people doing things, there will be one team working on stuff at one site during the day only.
Like, I'm sorry, I know Trax is like not as well written as it was before the pandemic, but it still has like 40,000 people who rely on it every day.
And those 40,000
And
people can't like build their lives and their housing and transportation plans
around
your
your
system.
30-minute delay.
Keep in mind it takes an hour or less to ride an entire Trax line end to end.
Well, and I mean, like, if you're like me and you like live in the middle of buttfuck nowhere currently, like
right? That makes
if I want to take the bus and train to work, which I don't because I've tried it and it took me 2.5 hours, even though it should only take an hour and a half. But it takes an hour and a half because I have a bus and then I have a transfer and then I have to take the train.
And
for like
that's
a
when
half
it's
hour.
working normally.
And that's when it's working normally. That's when it's working well. So add like
but
a
if you can't
solid,
take any of the tracks lines over their giant month-long closure,
who through the most important part of the system, by the
Right?
way,
that's where they're always fare checking. That's how you know.
who has 2 hours for a commute, especially when you're only going like across the valley and not like to like Provo or some shit.
Yeah.
UTA, if you want people to be able to rely on your system, make the closures sane.
I can't, like, our ridership has plateaued on tracks in the last couple years, and I cannot help but think that these like annual 2 months of complete uselessness and unreliability on tracks
Not helping.
has something to do with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm sure it's not the only cause because, commuting patterns have changed and all that, but like
We're digging
not
ourselves
helping.
into a
you're
hole.
not helping. You're not helping by doing it this way. And I know for a fact that it can be done a better way because I have seen it done in other cities where they are able to like replace things like this overnight.
So for context, dear listeners who are fortunate enough to not be coping with this right now,
Right, like how am I going to take...
the Utah Transit Authority has closed the central point, of their entire
which is
rail
where
system.
all 4 tracks lines converge.
Although the S line is unaffected.
Well, that's great.
This is closed for 1 month, from May 24th through June 20th, completely closed. And obviously the closure runs 2 miles south of the actual work zone, just because of like crossover placement and bullshit like that. So you can't get anywhere. You can go on the bus bridge that will make you miss your train fairly reliably. And what are they doing during this closure? Well, they are replacing 1 grade crossing.
And union interlocking.
And they're doing a bunch of dry track work. Do you know how long replacing 1 grade crossing takes the Utah Transit Authority?
For some fucking reason, 4 days.
It takes somehow it takes them 4 days because they do all of this using like half road closures and wet concrete.
Because they can close the tracks as much as they like, but
they can't close
God
the road.
forbid they close the road.
Right. Although they are actually going to have some bigger road closures than usual on 21st South, both at West Temple and 3rd West. Kind of curious how those will go. That's this weekend.
This is like...
But that takes 4 days. It shouldn't take 4 days. A competent railroad with cast-in-place concrete panels, which I will admit are bumpier and wear out faster, can replace them overnight. But that takes 4 days, sure. So you could imagine maybe they could one team can work on that. And in parallel, another team could spend a few days, maybe say a week, replacing the giant switch complex south of Central Point.
Which they have all the stuff for lined up already next to it on the giant empty lot. I saw it when I rode tracks
Oh my
past
God,
it the other
I didn't
day.
know that. That's hilarious. Yeah, because this interlocking used to be like pinched in between some warehouses, but one of them got blown up or whatever, I guess. So now they've got plenty of staging
into
area.
apartments.
Wow, actually close to the train station.
I know.
They're-
At Central Point, the most important train station in the entire system.
You want to bet they're going to figure out how to make it impossible to walk to the station?
I don't want to bet because I know that is going to be the fact.
There's a new giant townhouse block at Midvale Fort Union Station that is literally at the ski bus stop. And the developer had the audacity to put a giant wall between the apartment complex and the ski bus stop with no gates or pedestrian access of any kind.
Why?
Fuck you.
Like, that's an amenity.
It is. The ski bus of all things.
That's
you can
something-
sell to your
yeah.
rich clientele who can afford new construction townhomes.
Ski super easily at Midvale Fort Union
No,
Station.
walk really utterly excessive distance instead of
Or
10
probably
feet.
just drive up and screw up the fucking canyon.
Drive from your townhouse to the UTA Park and Ride.
Hop on the ski bus before everyone else does.
I swear to
Right?
God, I'm
That
moving
sounds-
to Canada. I'm moving to Canada. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
God.
I'm moving to Canada. It's going to be great.
Okay, so that's the first gut punch of the summer, is spending a month on what should probably take a week, even if they're still going slow. And then later during the summer, they're going to blow up the 6 South intersection for a week, which cuts all of the lines again.
Wait, why?
a track replacement.
That they couldn't have done when they built the station there 2 years ago? Does no one in this damn...
Or during any number of other construction closures, because like you said, they will do one replacement at a time. University S-curve, stadium curve, whatever the downtown curve is. And when they did the
4 years ago.
remember the last month-long red line closure, they replaced one intersection.
Yeah, I know, because I walked past
intersection.
it on the way to Smith's all the time. And I was like, oh, look at that. They are still working on this same intersection.
One intersection. Holy shit.
Like, I don't know. I have friends who have defended this to me who work at the UTA, but I'm just like thinking like, surely we can do this faster than a month.
Yeah. And even if they're going to take just as long to do like the fundamental construction activity, there's basic project management upgrades like doing work in parallel and paying money for night work and coordinating materials and labor better.
And not just assuming that all tracks writers are a captive audience who are going to continue writing forever, no matter how you like close everything for 2 months.
Or simultaneously assuming that they are a captive audience who will run after you no matter what, and also have alternatives to begin their trip outside of the closure area whenever the fuck UTA wants them to, because that's all they always put in the notices.
There are no people who get on the train as like their first stop at Central Point. I do not know any of these people personally, by the way.
Holy fuck. This will be the death of me. And then they are doing fat single tracking on the red line from July 25th to August 15th, which will hopefully be fine because they're doing normal single tracking. Fingers crossed. If they do a shuttle train, I might punch somebody. And that ends right before university commute season picks up. Still questioning spending 3 weeks straight on mere track work, but at least it's single tracked.
No.
What?
Oh, now I'm going to have to visit her. My goddaughter is moving to Syracuse.
New York?
Yeah, to not be here anymore. And
it could have been Syracuse, Utah.
No, it could not. And apparently they have in Syracuse, New York, the Erie Canal Museum.
Ooh,
the Erie
cool.
Canal, of course, being the closest thing that the United States has to the English canal system. And therefore, me being very interested in this.
Do they have boats that you can go up and down the Erie Canal
hope.
on?
Yeah. People even own like houseboats and like live on it.
Like I say, I'm very familiar with the Erie Canal trail, the gravel bike path or whatever. Not so much the boats.
In England and New England.
Man, I need to move to the East Coast.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Good
It's
luck.
never going to happen. Whatever.
West Coast?
Probably also never going to happen. I can't afford shit.
Whoa.
Midwest.
America.
I could do Chicago. Or St. Louis, maybe.
And don't worry, housing construction prices continue to increase thanks to the bombing of Iran. And, fuel prices increase all prices.
Bomb Iran.
Just 'cause we can.
No, I'm doing a road trip with, well, all my godchildren are coming up today.
Wow.
With my godson, Ryan, who I think you both
yeah.
have been introduced to.
You need to host more parties so I can hang out with your friends. They're cool.
And
especially Ryan.
He's the goat. Sorry, Giles. But
ouch.
You didn't even have to say that.
Ouch.
That's the crazy part.
Sorry, Giles. No, I like you, Giles. We're going on a road trip in the fall to the Pacific Northwest because both of us feel the need to get the fuck out of Dodge for a little while. And I have been calculating my gas based on the fact that I think it'll be $6.50 by then, and so I'm budgeting based on that.
Yeah, that's smart.
Well, best case, you get a bunch more spending money that you budgeted.
Yeah, that would be true. That would be nice to have additional savings, but I think real case is that I'm going to be spending like a solid $600 on gas for this trip.
Woo!
Because the road trip is part of the fun, and it's going to be more expensive to fly, so...
This is not surprising.
We don't have time to take Amtrak.
Yeah.
It's like 3 days to get to Portland on Amtrak.
If the Amtrak Pioneer existed, you would have plenty of time to take
Yes,
Amtrak
we
because
would.
it would be a direct
But
route.
it doesn't,
desert
and it
wind.
takes 3 days to get to Portland from here.
So fuck y'all for canceling this shit in the 90s. It's going to cost hundreds of millions of dollars just to undo Union Pacific Railroad atrophy to get it back.
Yeah,
So rest in peace your money.
seriously.
Don't you love giving it to petrostates?
Oh, nothing I like more. I love petrostates. Every morning I wake up and I say, thank God I live in a petrostate.
Oh, I meant other petrostates.
We do live in a petrostate.
Well, yeah. I'm being very...
Maybe I should just like work at McDonald's and move to Portland.
Well, with the Oregon minimum wage, I literally would probably work fine.
Like what, 15 an hour?
Yeah.
I make 25 right now.
I didn't say it would be as good as what you have now,
This
but
is
I think
true, but I
given
wouldn't be
Portland housing
here.
prices...
But I wouldn't be here, and that is something. I'm feeling very Utah negative at the moment. I'll get over it when I move back to Salt Lake from Magna.
You will.
Yeah, it'll help. Okay, we can go back now. So
Fine.
the S-Line extension
Boring.
as well.
Oh shit, I forgot that was like the first thing on the news.
Yeah.
Who's excited for the S-Line to be extended by 1,200
Me.
feet?
I'm not, because it's dumb and it should be going to Westminster.
Because as a streetcar, we could not possibly put it on
In the street ever. yeah. Our sort of high capacity light rail system, which runs on the street, and our low capacity streetcar, which never runs on the street.
It goes the speed of something that's going on the street already. I don't see how this
So
is going to
my
hurt.
question is, and I will ask this for about the 15th time, why on God's green earth have we not just put grade crossings on the damn thing so it can go like 30?
Because we want the aesthetics
I
of
don't
a
care about
streetcar.
the aesthetics.
Remember the whole "Don't turn my backyard into a rail yard" campaign against the S-Line?
That's great. Make it a silent zone.
UTA listens to that shit.
Well, they shouldn't, because that's dumb.
It is dumb. And now it has to go 15 miles an hour at every single intersection, despite tracks beelining through intersections way faster than that, to reduce damages when somebody runs a fucking red light and not even gets hit by the train, runs into the side of the train.
I've been on a tracks train when that happens, by the way.
How fun was that?
Not very fun. I was late for a French test.
Well, you can blame the French for that.
So anyway, yeah, they're basically nuking tracks' usefulness for the next month, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I did a lot of bicycling last Sunday.
Yeah, well, you would have to, because you have to go to Mill Creek to get on the train to your parents.
Right? You have to go to Meadowbrook, actually.
Wait, oh, there's no crossovers at Mill Creek, of course.
And we couldn't possibly change standard operating procedure to allow running on the wrong rail at more than 20 miles an hour. On the fully bidirectionally signaled rail line.
Stop talking garbage.
We couldn't have, like a temporary platform south of Central Point or something like that.
Well, that might actually be asking a bit much.
You could put it at
R.C.
West Haven
Willie.
Avenue.
Yeah, at R.C. Willie.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That would be great, because I got to buy some furniture so I could take tracks directly to R.C. Willie.
Said no one ever.
Yeah, I think that's more of an IKEA activity.
People buy furniture at R.C. Willie.
Well, I mean,
Not
in
the
terms
people
of the
who-
tracksability of it. It's not flat
Oh, yeah,
pack, is
true.
it?
No one who has ever...
If
no
you're
one who's
buying,
buying furniture at R.C. Willie is going...
RC
Right
Willie sells you
tracks.
furniture
Yeah.
that doesn't even fit in the median car.
Well, yeah, you get it delivered.
IKEA also has this, but it's not as fun as going to IKEA.
That's true, because you want the meatballs. Okay, this has been the news.
Ooh, speaking of
Oh, dear.
meatballs, my sister and her friends that she lives in a house with got a foster cat, and its name is Meatball Sub.
That's a good name for a cat.
that's not
It's a
bad.
great
Is it
name for a
like
cat.
light brown with like dark brown spots?
Not really, kind of brownish.
So it doesn't really.
Here's Meatball Sub.
I thought it'd look more like a meatball sub. It's okay though.
Apparently, this is the cat shelter assigned name on the cat's official registration.
It's a good-looking cat. You gonna share pictures with the podcast?
I'll consider it. I'll get them
It's
licensed.
expected.
Do that or cut it out.
Cat tax. No, we'll Patreon paywall the cat tax. We're evil.
Ooh.
The businesswoman in you is going wild.
I was a businessman doing business, etc. So anyway, I started blasting. Call an ambulance, but not for me. This has been the news.
Do. Fuck you, TA. Hey, they fucked us.
How'd they fuck us?
Month-long tracks closure.
Well, that's just, yeah.
S-line that doesn't go anywhere. But mostly that.
Toronto is by far Canada's largest city. More than 2.7 people live within its bounds.
Cool,
that is
cool.
true.
I sort of forgot to add the million there, it seems.
Well,
so we're going to
it's
do
still
that
true.
now.
So.
Sometimes I forget Canadians are people.
Okay.
Yeah, Canada's the 51st state.
No, Canada is a territory. They don't have voting rights.
Ooh, ouch. More than 2.7 million people live within its bounds, making it the third largest city in Anglophone North America.
Wow.
I love that just as a dunk on people who just say North America.
Well, look, Mexico City's bigger than New York, but no one knows that, so
It's huge.
huge, enormous.
Massive.
Ooh, can I distract us with like a 5-minute aside about places like Mexico City?
Yeah.
I'm curious where
Salt
this
Lake
will
City,
go.
for example, Boise.
No, one of our listeners, first of all, sent in some wonderful pictures of Frederick, Maryland. They're in the inbox if you want to see them.
Wow.
And also had some notes about the episode where we talked about jitneys, noting that very few U.S. cities are anywhere near as dense as the developing megacities where you often find jitneys. And, of course, labor
True.
costs in the U.S. are much higher because America and such. So jitneys struggle in places like the U.S. He also
Except
mentioned
New York.
yeah. They also mentioned that a lot of cities like Kigali and Merida are starting to standardize their jitneys, kind of regulating
I
liveries,
believe
routes,
it's
etc.
Merida. Close
Merida.
enough.
I'm trying. But yeah, jitney fun facts.
Wow.
Also, a correction regarding D.C. None of D.C. was swamp in 1790. However, it was 100,000 years ago. Source linked. Sophie's emotioning and questioning.
Yeah, but also, like, we're not talking about actual swamp
We
as a
could
biome
just say
here.
marsh.
Sure, marshy and terrible.
Tidal marshes, our listener says, were around the National Mall.
What is this
Okay.
train track in the middle of the street in Mexico City? Hello?
Hello? Is it like a freight track?
Oh, it's not. It's a BRT thing. Okay, never mind.
BRT thing?
Yeah. It just looked like a train track, but it is a BRT thing.
Oh, of course, it's a BRT thing.
Well, it's Mexico City. There's a lot of BRT in Mexico City. Are you processing that?
I'm just being pissed about BRTs that suck on roads that are way too wide.
Well, this one doesn't seem like that, but that's,
Well, yeah.
you know.
I want one here that's just like 26 feet in the median.
I would never. Monumento a la Revolución. Okay. It just edges out Chicago. Sorry, Popeville. Who interestingly just issued an excellent encyclical against AI.
Right? Like, I love this. Thank you for
real
using your
sort of
platform, Chicago
Dune
Pope.
moment here.
Dune moment.
Using your platform? I suppose that's technically true, but
In
that's
his
a
case,
crazy way to
probably
say that.
literal platform.
That's a crazy way to say that, I'd just like to say.
Thank you. I grew up in the 21st century.
Internationally known for finance, industry, and the arts, the city has a truly kaleidoscopic cultural mosaic.
Real finance or
is
crypto finance?
Real finance.
Okay, cool. Unlike the Bay Area,
It's a
which is known
financial
for crypto
center.
finance.
And also real finance.
Occasionally.
They have a part of downtown called the Financial District, Kyle.
Who doesn't?
Right, but that sort of implies that there's a finance industry there.
Yeah.
Anyway. The greater metro area contains something like 7 million people, or just over 1/6 of the total Canadian population.
Wow.
I know.
Toronto. The rest of the
Toronto.
Canadian population lives on the line.
And the great thing is that like a solid 2/3 of Canada's population lives within like 200 miles of Toronto.
Oh, yeah. Toronto's the one on the line. Vancouver's the one that's off the line.
And Calgary and Edmonton.
Okay. I love the line. We should have the line here. Oh, wait. It's called the Northeast.
We do. And there's 80 million people that live on it. We also have another one, and it's called California.
True, although it's like split
and another
in half.
one, and it's called the Texas Triangle.
Yeah, except that's a triangle, not a line.
Okay.
And Southwest Airlines keeps trying to kill high-speed
and
rail.
another one that's called Greater Chicagoland.
That one's just kind of an amorphous blob with a bunch of 110 mile an hour
13
rail
million
lines.
people, though.
I do love Chicagoland.
So it's important. Toronto is the center of gravity for Canada in a way that it's hard for Americans to understand. We have larger cities, but our largest metro area, New York, contains only about 1 in 20 Americans. But in Canada, right, like a substantial portion of everything is controlled by Toronto. Most of the time you win Toronto, you win an election, and that's how it just works in Canada.
Can I understand Toronto is to Canada as New York is to the Northeast?
No, Toronto is to Canada as New York is to the state of New York.
Oh, shit.
Kind of everything.
But, like, not as much in terms of population. You'd have to throw in some other adjoining states.
No, but, like, in terms of importance to the, like, broader...
Really? They ignore the other cities that much?
It's not so much ignore as, like, in terms of, like, global importance for the country, right? Like, no one gives a crap about Syracuse. No one gives a crap about Edmonton. Nobody gives a crap about Rochester.
I give a crap about Vancouver.
Yeah, but on a global scale, it's not that important.
No, it's not.
So it's Canada's kind of like only true global city, except maybe Montreal, but that's a whole different shtick.
Yeah, because they're French.
Exactly.
French.
Exactement. Mais c'est important que nous apprenions là. Why did it take so long? It's important, we get it. But why did it take so very long for it to get a proper railway link between the airport and the city's central business district, especially since Toronto is fairly well known for having pretty decent transit options, generally speaking?
Let me guess. Evil mayors and no budget?
This actually doesn't have anything to do with Rob Ford.
Really?
Wow.
No. Rob Ford does not come into this story because this was done by the province. So
will Rob Ford come into our other 4 stories in this series?
Of a certainty.
Bike lanes.
Well, we won't be talking about that, but I might need to make a Patreon addendum about the bike lanes.
But we can talk about Rob Ford hating...
Subways.
He hated
what
LRT
he
because he didn't think it wasn't he thought it was a streetcar.
Because
is he illiterate?
He's Donald Trump, but Canadian and significantly less malicious.
And more funny.
And he did crack, apparently.
Only once.
Allegedly. Only once. I love to, like, hang out with my sort of constituents so much that I just, like, do crack with them.
Mayor of the people.
Mayor of the people. So Toronto-Pearson International Airport, interestingly located in Mississauga instead of Toronto, is the busiest airport in Canada, handling nearly 50 million passengers per year. That's like 2 Salt Lakes.
Okay, that's a unit I can understand in terms of number of gates, floor space, drama.
That's big. Is that like Atlanta size?
Atlanta carries something like 120 million a year.
Wow, that's crazy.
And SFO has like 75. LAX is like 100 million or something.
How many is Denver?
Shockingly large. It's like 70 or 80. Because it's just such an important hub.
I'm not shocked by the number of runways.
And Frontier.
Yeah, and the thing about Denver is that it actually, most of its traffic is from being a hub and not origin and destination trips.
That makes sense, given that it's next to Denver.
Salt Lake is still a big hub, but most of our trips out of Salt Lake are sort of origin or destination. Not so for Denver. Anyway, the city also has a second airport called Billy Bishop Airport, which is accessible primarily by ferry or a foot tunnel under part of Lake Ontario.
A foot
Apart?
Tunnel?
Wait,
Under part of Lake
how long
Ontario.
is this tunnel?
Oh, not super long.
How
but
old is this tunnel?
Not super old. Yeah, look, go on to Google Maps. Are you fascinated by the lamp?
It's a
It's
fascinating
making
lamp.
a little noise.
Huh. Oh, is it loose?
I don't know that helped.
No.
Antique lamp.
Well, maybe it did.
It's really not very much.
I can see that. You go on the
Under
island.
like 500-foot wide channel, basically, which leads to the Port of Toronto.
There really is. They just have a ferry that goes straight from a park to the terminal, and also a parallel pedestrian tunnel.
Yeah, for the parking lot.
That's
So you
kinda-
can park, so I can drive to downtown Toronto, take
Yep.
my car on the ferry, and then
Wait, the parking. I guess they didn't have space for the parking on the land side, but that's insane. Running a ferry to a parking lot for an airport.
yeah,
Why is that gap so important? I guess to get into a Toronto harbor.
shipping. Because if you scroll to the east a ways, there's these like giant sort of basin for ships and stuff.
So they can't have a
Can't build a bridge because
without like God's longest approach.
well, right, and if you have a bridge, then the bridge is going to be too tall for airplanes to be close to.
Right. And this is so short, they just put a little foot tunnel. I love that.
Yep. Toronto. Oh yeah, you betcha. We love Toronto.
I do love that it's park to airport.
As early as the 1980s, various studies and proposals worked on developing a rail link with downtown Toronto in 3 studies, commissioned in 1989, 1990, and 1991.
They were really on it.
Thank you, George H.W. Bush. It was
What?
it was determined that there were two possible options. First, they could extend the line to Bloor-Danforth subway to the airport. The TTC's main crosstown subway line ends just 5 miles south of the airport
Bloor Street mentioned.
and
Bloor
gets
Street
riders
mentioned.
pretty near downtown. Or they could connect to the GO train network. The Kitchener line runs just 1.5 miles north of the airport.
Kitchener mentioned. Kitchener
Yes,
mentioned
as
again.
in the Waterloo Kitchenloo Ion thing.
One of our patrons says they really wish the actual name of the place was Kitchenloo.
I mean, it could be. We can make it a thing. Like, I've been an influencer before.
We're going to use our platform for this.
Yeah, Pope Leo, I need you to come out in support of calling it Kitchenloo.
Decree it as such.
Yeah, speaking ex cathedra, it's called Kitchenloo. So in 2001, a bid for a DBO, that's Design Build Operate contract, for a new line running between Toronto Pearson and Union Station was put out, and a consortium led by S&C Lavalin, which is a Canadian manufacturer,
I'm going to say a bunch of Canadian companies I don't know anything about.
called the Union-Pearson Airlink Group, won the build in 2003, the year I was born.
This feels fairly standard for like really large contracts. Is like all the several contractors
This isn't
band
that big of
together.
a contract, really, though. It was only 500 million Canadian dollars.
Oh, yeah,
Insert the
no.
miles in transit drop.
That's not that big.
Canadian dollars. So they wanted to call the service Blue 22, which is really dumb.
Why?
Because the line would take 22 minutes to reach Union Station.
That's really stupid because that's going to change every couple of years. The number of minutes.
Why would that change every couple of years?
Schedule adjustments, construction, track speed restrictions, changing in rolling stocks, changes in operating procedures, changes
they're never
in
gonna do that.
federal regulations.
There would be a single stop at the Bloor GO station where riders could transfer to Line 2. Even crazier, they wanted to use refurbished Bud DMU cars from the 50s, which are currently only in operation on some very strange sort of local services in Ontario.
Wow.
And somehow operating.
Under Via Rail.
How many
and
times have they
operating.
replaced the engine?
I don't know that they've ever replaced it, Kyle, but
Bud
they
don't
sure
break.
are running it. Yeah. Here's a picture. Miles in Transit has a great video of riding this, like the entire length, which is substantial.
On the
Because Canada's
potato
a very
train.
big place. Unfortunately for foamers and business travelers everywhere, this
Secondarily.
plan did not come to fruition. And Metrolinx, which coordinates regional transportation for the GTA, took over
That's
in
Metrolink.
2000. Metrolinx.
Metrolink with an X.
Yeah.
Because why
Oh,
not?
yeah.
Because it's
The X is cool.
because it's Anglophone North America, and if we don't call it Metrolink, what the hell are we gonna call it? You see, I'm gonna sort of go to LA and take the Metrolink, and I'm gonna go to Baltimore and take the Metro Subway link, and I'm gonna go to Toronto and take the Metrolinx, and I'm gonna go to St. Louis and take the Metrolink, and I could also go to Metrolinx Halifax, or to the Sydney Metro, which was also known as Metrolink, or to Metlink, a public transport governing body in Melbourne, Australia, or to Metrolink Victoria, the former operator of trams in Melbourne, Australia. I could go to Metrolink, which is in Dublin. I could go to Metrolink, a division of New Zealand Bus. I could go to the Manchester Metrolink. I could go to the Metrolink in Tulsa, which is the name of their bus system for some freaking reason. I could go to the Quad Cities in Illinois Metrolink, or the Plymouth Metrolink in Plymouth, Minnesota, because why the heck would we name any transit system anything other than Metrolink?
Maybe I'll ask Isaac if we can use his picture of a Metrolink train being towed through the Flagstaff, Arizona Amtrak station.
Good plan.
Metrolink!
Construction finally began in 2012 after new contractors were selected to actually build the dang thing. The project would include a number of important infrastructure improvements. The GO line, it would share to Union Station, as well as a 2.1-mile viaduct connecting it to the airport.
2.1-mile viaduct to mainline specs? That's crazy.
Yeah. Which UP Express says is the longest single elevated structure in Canada.
It looks heavy.
It does look pretty heavy, but
Like-
it is carrying like proper trains and not,
Right? Like BART viaduct, skinny, light, aerial, you could call it.
BART trains are made out of aluminum.
And they were worried they would blow over because they're
Like a
so
tin
light.
can.
Yeah.
These are made out of a good Anglophone
Solid
American
American
steel.
Look, unironically, Canada and America should join and become one country, but not in like a problematic Trump way. I just
Good
would
luck
like to
In
be
a
friends.
beautiful friendship
I would like
way.
to be friends with you, is what I'm saying.
I love how this is a viaduct essentially just like over whatever like parking lot and logistics and shit were next to the airport.
Well,
Like,
there's also like some like
there's also an entire freeway interchange.
and like river, I think.
Oh, river, yeah.
I
No,
believe.
they're just like fuck dealing with all of this giant
We're
viaduct.
just gonna go over it.
Which I kind of love for
You
them.
can just go over it. Just go around. I'm looking at this now on Google Maps. Yeah, there is a river. Wow, and that is a truly god awful turning radius. All right.
But don't break, but do turn.
God bless America.
Woo!
So the Bud cars were phased out and replaced with trains that will be familiar to those who've ridden the SMART train in the Bay Area. 7 Nippon Sharyo DMU trains were acquired for the project in both 3 and 4 car configurations.
Wow. Don't they have a couple of Nippons in Portland?
I
Or
don't
in
remember.
Seattle?
Not in Seattle.
Okay.
This would be on the west if it was going to be on anything.
No, they have. I thought they had some on either Sounder or the
They
Portland
don't
Seattle
have those on
Amtrak.
Sounder. They couldn't have these on Portland Seattle Amtrak, could they?
I'm looking up source.
We're looking up West train. My goat, my op.
Your op.
Wow, it's gone up in ridership to 500 people a day. Rolling stock. Oh, right, it's the Colorado rail car things that no one likes.
It is.
And also Bud for some reason. Because we're never going to outgrow those dang things. I'm almost certain that they don't use those in Seattle.
Okay.
It says here in 2014, TriMet considered purchasing one
Consider.
2-car Nippon Sharyo DMU train set to supplement the West fleet as an option under an existing contract between that manufacturer and Sonoma-Marin Area Rail Transit, but could not reach an agreement with the manufacturer on the piece.
Supplement the West Fleet. That's the sentence.
Yeah, they're
of
not
the
going to
century.
put that on the Cascades.
Oh, it's the Tigos that they have.
Yeah, the Talgos,
The Talgos.
but they don't use those anymore.
Sorry, wrong foreign
Strange train.
brand. Wrong strange train.
Strange looking train. There were some substantial controversies during construction. Residents near the new line were concerned about noise and pollution, and also grade crossings going down too often because it comes every 15 minutes.
Question. The residents next to the airport?
Next to like the rest of the GO line, basically, was what they were concerned about, right? Because
they'd be running
the
more service.
Yeah, because the GO line goes through a whole bunch of sort of like residential areas, and so the people there were being like, we don't want the train. And so they tried to get them to electrify it, but they didn't do that, which was for once a based move on the part of NIMBYs.
Right? Like that would actually be cool. Deemed unfeasible in order to be open in time for the 2015
Pan American Games, a thing that anyone cares about.
Right? Like us United States of Americans can't even manage to get a high-speed rail
often do the Pan
open in time for the actual Olympics.
Oh, they happen every 4 years. I didn't even know about this.
Games. How often is the World Cup? Every 4, right?
Know.
This was in Bracket City the other day.
Yeah, but we're having it here for some reason. Big mistake on their part. Yeah. In America.
Look, at least it's not in like insert oil country.
Yeah, that's true. We are moderately less evil than those places. And by moderately, I mean substantially. Alex, do you have a hard cutoff?
No.
Okay.
I just keep looking at how the terminal train between the terminals is called the terminal link.
No!
That's peak.
Dies immediately.
Can we call the Salt Lake one that once they build the C terminal?
I don't
They
know.
will not build a train. I don't
They're
think.
going to.
They will?
Yeah, it's in the plans.
There's literally space in the central tunnel.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's going to be like Denver Airport someday. It's going to be like 4 terminals or something, or 4 concourses.
Yeah. No, it's really only. I think it stays like fully underground, so you're still going to be doing a shitload of walking.
Yeah.
But
I heard that they put the distance between the 2 concourses ever so slightly apart, like closer, where you don't need to have a train. But maybe that's not true.
They're not going to build the train this time because it's stupid to have it for one stop.
But they build it for the C terminal.
They built in the space for it next to the tunnel, so it's to the sort of right of the tunnel, where the unfinished wall is of the big central tunnel.
Okay.
Not the crappy one.
The stupid tunnel.
Yeah, the original tunnel.
The terrible one. Which we've all used, I'm sure. Having flown airlines other than Delta. And but when they build Terminal C, whenever they do, or Concourse C, not Terminal C, we have one terminal. Then they'll have to, because they don't want to do that stupid like shuttle car thing that they have as a replacement for having a train forever.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
This is like very American of like spending no. Actually, it's very opposite of American. No capex, all opex.
It gives me very like DC government building tunnel vibes.
It really does. It's going to be like that. So they succeeded in their goal, and the line opened for public service on June 6th, 2015. It had, at the time, an outrageous fare. An adult ride to Union Station cost almost 30 Canadian dollars.
For 2.1 miles?
Well, it's only the...
That's just the viaduct.
Yeah. I guess so. That's
but
still...
for like a 15-minute ride or 20-minute ride or something, like that's completely crazy.
Yeah.
For some reason, it did terribly on ridership.
For some reason.
Averaging just 2,100 riders per day by the end of 2015.
These are the fares
and dropping below 2,000 per day in the beginning of 2016.
These are the fares that get people sitting on the airport floor, not even having to split an Uber, or back in the day, a real taxi.
Yeah.
Because holy
taxis
shit.
were like sometimes cheaper than this, as I recall. Because this is about the time that like Uber started to be a thing.
Right.
So you could get really cheap Uber rides. So they reduced the fare to $12 in mid-2016, and it stayed there, and then ridership immediately solved itself.
12,500 per day pre-pandemic, 6 times ridership.
Immediately, like, just
Well, and
lowered the price, and immediately everyone's just like, "Oh, okay, I'll ride that."
And then they're making more money because they cut the price by 2.5 times, and they got riders 6 times.
Yeah, they have a really good fare box recovery on this one for operating expenses.
Like, they failed to do even like basic supply demand equalization.
Well, no, it's like New Jersey Transit is going to be charging $100 to get from Midtown to
I've been watching
MetLife Stadium.
I've been watching all of the shorts, not on LinkedIn, anywhere else, all the shorts about this and about how it's like actually fucking impossible to walk to that stadium, and New Jersey Transit,
the Europeans
instead
are
of
going to try it. God bless them.
God bless them, all hail. And the Americans are proud that their country is dangerous and unwalkable, and are flexing this on the Europeans and TikToks.
That's not a good thing. That's embarrassing. MetLife Stadium should be like in Central Park or some bullshit.
New Jersey Transit, instead of running more service, is charging $100 to quote recoup their costs, unquote, despite the costs not increasing.
Much. Oh my god.
Well, if they're not increasing service, they're not increasing costs, and even if they are, holy shit.
Have we considered making me Transit Stalin of America?
Transit Czar.
Transit Czar. Yeah.
That's what we call Stalins these days.
Because of woke. It has been plagued by rivalry from the TTC, which offers a frequent bus option for a much lower cost.
Wow.
But that's okay because it's funny.
That sounds like Oak.
Back when it was $30, TTC actually ran ads calling itself the cheap way to get to the airport from downtown, which is just pretty great because this is a different agency, so they're allowed to compete.
This is giving me like a macro version of the Oakland Airport connector vibes.
A little bit, except it's actually successful.
Yeah, actually good.
Yeah.
God, these trains look so funny.
Pretty much it. They opened up a new station at Weston in 2025.
Weston?
Yes.
Is that west of Easton?
I don't know where that is.
I mean, west is in the west
It would appear to be
Express or whatever.
In a neighborhood called Weston. And Weston is a neighborhood and former town in Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Okay.
The neighborhood is situated northwest of the city, south of Highway 401. Driving on the 401, California. Wait a minute. Ontario, here we come. I don't know. Seems to be a sort of charming main street. Anyway.
Great parking lot.
Huge parking lot. And that's the show. Closing thoughts on what's up in Toronto.
I think Anglican. What did he say? Anglican
What?
North American.
Anglophone.
Anglophone, not Anglican.
I mean, we could
Mashallah.
we could institute the Church of Anglophone North America.
Look, if it's gonna be anyone.
I think Anglophone North American countries should be more willing to run mainline rail services to airports.
No. That's dumb. Why would we do that?
Because it's cheap and your fare box recovery it's relatively cheap to build, and your fare box recovery ratio is going to be batshit good. Especially when the airport.
Okay, but you were bitching earlier last episode about you weren't really bitching. You were complaining. There's a difference between complaining and bitching. You were complaining last episode about the SFO fare being too expensive.
I didn't say they should charge high fares. I said they should run mainline trains where such is a practical option. But they basically do.
Because you gotta go one stop to get on Caltrain.
To go to SFO.
Yeah, from Millbrae.
I just don't think they should charge quite so goddamn much money for that.
Why?
I also think the track geometry of that connection is fucking stupid.
Yeah, that is pretty terrible.
It's so stupid. Especially because it doesn't go to the terminal, which maybe a Y would make sense for that. It goes to the fucking air train.
By the way, have you guys seen Toronto City Hall?
No.
It's god-awful.
Oh. Reminds me of American Plaza.
It does.
The American Towers.
It does. It does. Oh, no.
It's like friendship,
And there's
that's not good.
This here, which I believe is the historic City Hall, which is of course
infinitely better,
beautiful.
Charming, very European.
Why can't they run City Hall out of the historic City Hall with a tunnel to a bigger modern building?
Toronto is a much bigger city now than it was.
Run the head office in the historic City Hall and just have a tunnel to whatever the other building is, like they do at the U.S.
the
Capitol.
White House. Yeah.
Yeah. When you outgrow your building,
Gotta
simply
go to
tunnel.
the OEOB,
The what?
the Osborne Executive Office Building,
It's an auxiliary building.
to the White House.
It's where they shove like all the interns they don't like. According to Veep, that's all I know.
It's also where the office of the vice president is. But yes, it is where you go if you're not that important.
Relatively
'Cause there's
unimportant.
not actually that much office space in the White House. Like, there's a lot, but there's not that much. So you gotta be.
I think we need to start calling the White House the People's House again.
I think that's what we called Congress historically.
How about all government buildings? The post office is the People's
Now
House.
that I can get on board with.
Amtrak is the People's House.
Amtrak is the people's house.
We said last episode that Amtrak is an
And the
embassy
Lord
of the
said
United
unto them,
States.
my house shall be a house of prayer for all people. Parentheses, Amtrak.
Chapel car.
Oh, inshallah.
That would be nice. If
If we're
we
gonna
had,
do
like
like
a-
Christian nationalism, can we at least do it like that? Can we...
Steampunk train corps. Christian
Yeah, doesn't that
nationalism.
sound fun? Like a sort of
A little bit.
a return to chapel cars.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay, well that's the show. I don't have anything else unless y'all got stuff to say.
It was a good show. I'm excited to see what other 4 parts we
Yeah,
have.
next time we'll be talking about the Toronto streetcar, followed by the Toronto subway, followed by
No, you're only supposed to tell the audience the immediate next one.
followed by the Ontario line, followed by the GO train. Oh, followed by the LRTs.
Was that 6?
Oh, that was 6.
Yeah,
Crap.
including this one.
Fine, we're putting the Ontario line in with the subway because I said 4 earlier or 5 earlier.
Look, we can have it be like a 5-part trilogy or whatever.
I love a 5-part trilogy.
We're gonna Star Wars it.
We should go
We're
to
gonna
Toronto.
Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy.
How much
it.
money do we have right now?
Probably enough to go to Ontario.
Yeah, we should go to Toronto.
We have money.
We need to actually make a video when we go places and not just film 500 gigabytes.
Boring. I would much rather simply go and then tell about it on the podcast in various fragments.
Let's see, we have 1,300 in savings.
Oh, that's not enough to go to Toronto.
But let's see, we have $532 I just withdrew from Patreon.
Wow. Yeah, that's probably not enough to go to Toronto. And why would we go to Toronto anyway? Also, rest in peace, the Scarborough Rapid Transit. What is up with that?
Oh?
We'll talk about it.
Oh. This is the teaser for the hosts, not just the audience.
Yeah. So true. I'm just great like that.
Best to ever do it.
But the Scarborough RT was SkyTrain before SkyTrain was SkyTrain.
Oh, cool.
You know, isn't it kind of interesting that Toronto is like technically on an isthmus?
Remind me again what an isthmus is.
Look it up.
Wasn't that the skinny piece of land between
It's
two
like
water
Panama.
bodies?
Yeah.
Okay. Like Panama is probably the single best explanation that could have been given there.
Panama. Panama. Panama.
I know, like, technically.
Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it?
Fat ass isthmus.
Kind of.
That's
I
the
would
same
just
way
say-
that Madison is.
It's no Detroit isn't.
Detroit's not.
No.
Where is Madison, Wisconsin? Now,
Who-
Madison, Wisconsin is on an isthmus, and you
Yeah,
cannot change
Madison's
my
like
mind.
for real. Like this
And
is
that's
walk
cool.
from
I
one
think
side
that's
to
a
the other.
great urban geography. I think that we
Yeah,
should.
right. With
Also, it would be so easy to build like a regional rail system for that.
right
that-
with the
for
state
Madison.
capital in the middle.
Yeah. Like there's already a set of train tracks that run like right through
If
downtown.
Anglophone North Americans are incapable of making development patterns that are
I think we
conducive to
should start
transit, at
calling
least
it Anglican North America.
maybe we should. If they can't make development patterns that are conducive to mass transit, at least geographic constraints can make them for them.
This is why there's this one map in City Skylines that has an isthmus in it, and I love that map very much because it
Yeah.
makes it so fun to build transit because I can have everything come together and then.
The funny part for every other city is that when you're, master planning the development of your metropolitan area, with, your federally mandated, like, planning hierarchy, you could simply design it in a way that it's easily served by mass transit and reserve space for
What?
rail corridors and such things.
What?
I'm looking at you, Red Line Permanent Dead End.
I'm going to start calling Salt Lake
it's
County an isthmus. It can't even say it right.
That is just. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
A dry
If
isthmus.
Toronto counts.
But it does, though.
I'm calling Woods Cross an isthmus.
Sort of.
Dry isthmus. Dry isthmus.
Woods Cross is not an isthmus. Your mom, however.
Ooh.
I don't even know what that's supposed to mean.
Because,
They call your mom an isthmus the way she's between two large bodies of water.
What can I say? She's on a continent.
she is a
They
constant.
call your mom. That's like those old middle school jokes. Like, your mom is so fat that the sun orbits around her.
I had to revert back to the classics.
Oh, also the REM opened.
Your mom,
Oh, yeah?
again.
The whole thing.
We didn't get invited this
Your,
time.
your mom is an isthmus.
And it's because we're not popular
because she
anymore.
spans the Darien Gap.
Oh. Ouch.
She's full of poison and drugs.
No, the airport thing still hasn't opened, but I think the rest of it is open now.
Cool,
So
cool,
that's pretty
cool,
good.
cool, cool. Jealous.
Maybe I should move to Montreal.
Can you afford that?
No.
You speak French-Canadian.
Je parle un petit peu de le français.
Right, they should let you just because you know
C'est un,
French. Aren't they
oui,
like pretty
oui.
big on continuing
No,
to do
I told
French?
Ryan I'm gonna, because Ryan is a dual citizen. I told him we should get visa married.
to move to Canada?
Yeah.
Honestly, decent
And he
idea.
said I'm like the 10th person who's asked him that.
Visa polycule?
I don't think that's
I guess because it's a
acceptable.
marriage, it's a visa
No, that only
plural
works
marriage.
in Seattle.
I had to explain what a polycule was to my parents the other day.
Oh, my condolences.
Oh.
I have not had that misfortune
Because
yet.
my cousin is now in a throuple, and I had to.
Uh-huh.
I was like, well,
That's like
Really?
beginner level polycule.
well,
Oh.
yeah, because it's.
In real life, that's exciting.
I know, in England, no less.
Rather
I
than
didn't
in
know
Seattle.
they had those there.
They apparently do, and they're proud of it, I guess.
We love the polycules. We think nothing better than 14 Google Sheets or Google Calendars. That's the only thing I know about polyamorous people is that they use Google Calendars a lot.
The only thing I know is from Dropout, where there's a kitchen table polycule, where
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
all get along around the kitchen table.
Yeah. And I don't. Is it really a polycule if you can't do that?
Evidently, yes.
I suppose so.
Many are asking.
Move to Seattle and find out.
The trouble with Seattle is that there's only 2 polycules.
They're just really big.
They're all sort of like, there's been like sociological study of this because it's sort of unique in human history of like this many people being like this romantically and sexually entangled. It's such that there are basically 2 polycules in Seattle if you like stretch it, the definition just a little bit.
And now they're
And they
connected.
encompass like 1,000 people or something.
Wow.
Did you guys see the insane San Francisco polycule ad?
No,
It turned out to be a bit, but it was very funny.
I think so.
I would have hoped it was a bit.
Polycule ad. Here it is. Seeking new polycule member. We recently had a defector in our polycule, and we are seeking a new member. A bit about us. Fun-loving, diverse, ragtag bunch of lover people. We love long walks on the beach in a line or 3-4 formation. Trying new restaurants, we stared at dishes family style, of course, and watching romantic comedies chosen by majority vote while cuddled up on our extra large couch. Must live on site, rent is $1,570 a month, which is pretty good for SF. Must commit exclusively to our polycule. Any gender welcome, must be, open to all of our members. 5'5" to 5'10" preferred for practical positioning reasons.
Yep, I've seen this one. I was watching the whole breakdown. They have like a Google form and everything.
It's a crazy
good.
Google form. Yeah.
This is Google form.
I was going to say, the only reason to join a polycule is to get enough members to form a phalanx.
Or to...
What's a phalanx?
So true.
What's a phalanx?
I think that you could form sort of a proper phalanx with the Seattle polycule, probably.
Yeah, I think 50 might be
You could go
enough.
head to head with Athens.
It's a Roman battle formation where
it's a pre-Roman battle formation.
With like
But
the
they did
shields and
use
the
it in
spears
Rome.
and the holes between the shields.
Yeah, where you'd have like the big
Here, I'm going to show you a picture.
You pretty much like armadillo yourself, I would say. But it's like you have to have enough people.
It's this way of like using the combined mass.
Oh, yeah.
Of the whole thing to bear on the front and giving everyone a lot of protection at the same time. And so basically, when these two phalanx in like Greece or whatever, because that was where they were sort of perfected, they would just sort of run into one another and push until one side ran. So ancient Greek battles didn't have all that many casualties because they were sort of just pushing on one another.
Cavalry was tough though because they could come around the side really fast.
Yeah, which is
kind of destroy.
Yeah, which is part of why Alexander the Great was so successful. Is he combined really good cavalry with very powerful phalanx. That's how he conquered the entire Near East.
Calvary is like Calgary cavalry.
Oh, yeah, whatever, cavalry. I just can't pronounce it.
Yeah,
the kind
I
with
can't
horses
either.
where you stab people.
Yeah, I know that much.
Not the place where Jesus died.
Or the place in Canada.
Yeah, that was a deep cut. I appreciate that.
Thanks. I had to remind myself how to, well, I knew of it, but I couldn't quite remember the words. So I had to look it up.
I'm very impressed I'm very impressed. That was good.
I've been watching a lot of Historia Civilis.
I thought you were going to say History Channel.
That's not surprising. You think about the Roman Empire a lot, do you?
I do now.
Every 7 seconds.
Yeah, well, I think it was at least 7 times a day for it to count, is what they said on the thing.
So, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, and follow and leave us a rating on Capital I, Capital Tunes, and or Spotify. If you like what we do here, consider becoming a member on Patreon. Patrons receive early access to all our regular content, as well as exclusive episodes and occasional merch drops. Speaking of patrons...
That's so true.
Do you want them in the Discord?
Yeah.
You can have them here.
Oh, thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
Too bad I slowed down my CPU to 10%. Yeah.
At Frontrunner tier $10 or more per month, we have Aaron, Curtis Herring, Phobos 2390, Zach Adams, Tony Stunts, and Austin Speaker.
At $5 a month, our red line tier, we have DJ.
I will.
Well, that was
You
quick.
beat me to it.
That's what I was going
Watkins, Nebula, Robert P. Walsh, Christopher Whaley, Reluctant LA Resident, Sky Lukowski, Isaac Madsen, Kyle Irving. Oh, and Kyle Irving. Thank you.
Wow, so cool he's on there twice. At our blue line tier, which is incidentally the color the line we talked about today is colored on Google Maps, $3 a month, we have Ethan McDonald, Zach Verstaat, Alex, Elijah Kensler, G4, Evelyn, Matt Gray, Jesse Mayo, Oliver, Sam Myers, Litmus Zest, Toronto Transit Channel, Flight Attendant Nightsha, Tansy, and Caleb Denio.
And at Green Line tier $1.
It goes to the airport. It goes to the
per
airport.
month. We have Kapil, Benjamin Wood, Joshua S. Horvath, and Ryan Bailey. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks
So
for
many
listening
people
to
have been
the
subscribed for a very long time.
Red Line Wokecast. Our long
Who's our
time podcast
longest?
stands.
Let me go join day. Let's see.
Can Curtis Herring.
Yeah, it checks out. Followed by Ethan McDonald and DJ Hilo Watkins.
Nearly as long as the podcast itself. Thank you, podcast stands.